What is going on, guys? It's Mr. Banks here. I'm coming at you live with a nice trade recap so you guys can become successful independent traders and learn how to find levels and take trades on your own based off of the trades that we took today. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of the educational content that I put out on a daily basis. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to look at is these AMD 94 calls about 7 minutes into the market that we took, and SPY 406 calls 25 minutes into the market. How I found these levels, what I was looking at to take these trades. And I mean, these turn into absolute monsters, both running over 200% on a Monday. We absolutely destroyed it. Got to give a big shout out to the team. We had someone have their first big win on options running over 100%. So congratulations on that. And the team absolutely ran it up. So big congratulations to everyone today on the wins. But you guys came here to understand levels and how to trade. So let's get started into that. AMD 94 calls. I took it 7 minutes into the market. So what was I looking at? Well, first, I like to always zoom out, not like that, like to zoom out and look at the 1 hour time frame. Why do I like to look at the 1 hour time frame? Well, the 1 hour time frame is always going to tell me where are my big support and resistance levels, as where are my big supply and demand levels, right? So the 1 hour time frame is always going to be my favorite. It's what I look at the most to find my major levels that I'm going to trade. Well, going into today, we were looking at AMD. First off, this was a big demand level, as we can see here. We're seeing a balance and a big springboard move out of it. So if you guys don't know, supply and demand zones, you will see a balance and a major move out of it. So this is a perfect, nice little demand that we formed back in March. So I knew that if we held this demand, that we were more than likely going to head higher off a nice relief bounce from this relative weakness that we have been seeing from AMD. So as you guys can see, as you know, what do stocks do? They will break out and retest. And this is an absolute picture perfect of that, right? Broke out, and then we came all the way back to retest it. So holding this area, I knew it would be a nice little relief bounce to head higher. So that was my first clue. My second clue of this level was pretty much, are we going to hold yesterday's low as well? Sorry, Thursday's low as well, right? So you guys can see here, Thursday's low, if we held that, we more than likely we're going to head higher. So let's take a look deeper into a smaller time frame so you guys can get a better picture at this. So as you guys saw, not only was there a big demand level, but what else was I looking at? Well, I knew if we held Thursday's low, that we were more than likely going to have a nice relief bounce above that demand to head higher. So what did we do today? We held Thursday's low, and then we had a pre-market low that was creating a higher low comparable to Thursday's low. So as you can see right here, here's a higher low. Here's Thursday's low. It is a higher low. And what did we do at open? Well, at open, we held yesterday's low for one, and we held pre-market low, showing that there was demand and there was strength here. So we took this trade about 7 minutes into the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2-minute time frame. This is exactly where we took this trade today. Absolutely crushed it. So big thing we were watching, we looked at the 1 hour time frame. We saw that there was a big demand zone here. Secondly, we were looking at Thursday's low, right? Thursday's low, which was above demand. And what did we do today? Well, we held Thursday's low, and then we put pre-market low was a higher low than Thursday's low. Perfect. This is showing me bullish signs. And then what do we do at open? Well, we failed to break pre-market low. So that's a pretty good sign that we're more than likely going to head up above demand above Thursday's low, which essentially was the previous day's low. And then we were also holding above pre-market low and could not break that level. I mean, if you guys take a look here, we had a nice little jump at open and then a nice sell off candle right here, right? So this is a nice big wick to the top showing us that sellers were trying to take control. So when I saw this candle, I was potentially looking for the downside, but what happened? We could not break pre-market low here. And so with this nice sell volume and sellers showing that they were present, they could not break pre-market low and buyers showed up. So when we couldn't break pre-market low, even after sellers showing up, the buyers held this nice little demand at pre-market low here. And then once we held and could not break lower is when I took the trade right here. So let's go ahead and take a look. It's my first time using this for you guys. Let's take a look at the replay option on uh, TradingView. So you guys can kind of take a look step by step what we were saying. So here, nice little jump up. Boom. So we had a nice break to the upside here. And then we had a nice sell off. But what happened here? Let's take a look. So you guys can see, look, you saw that the sellers were present, right? The sellers were trying to take control of this trade, but they could not take control moving it down below pre-market low, right? This is showing us that there's buyers there, right? Showing us that this pre-market low is a very strong level. Now, as we already know, this is above that demand level and above Thursday's level as well. So again, as you guys saw right there was another big wick to the downside. So we came up. Let's take a replay again of that because I really want you guys to see this in action and take note of it. So let's maybe go to point 3 and take a look of this action. So I really want to make the point is that there were sellers there. Sellers were present trying to push this trade down, as you guys can see right here. Sellers are trying to push this trade down, right? Sellers. What happened? We could not break pre-market low. Perfect. Now we're trying to head back up. Sellers are present again. Boom. You guys see that? Headed up and then sellers present again. And looked what happened. We could not break pre-market low, showing us that there was massive strength and demand at this level. And this is exactly where we took this trade. And after that, it was game over, right? Again, sellers are trying to stay present here. They just could not take control today. And we were showing and proving that this big level, the pre-market low, was absolutely holding today, that it was holding as demand. Buyers were present, and we absolutely crushed this trade. So really want to show you guys how important it is to understand levels and the price action that is happening at these levels. So this is a very good replay of it, showing, yes, there was sellers present, but this pre-market low was a very big level. It was being defended by the bulls, right? It was showing that we did not want to break pre-market low. It was a heavily defended level. Even with all of these sellers trying to show up, it was being defended. So the risk to reward, the trade was now up once we showed that the sellers could not break this big level, a pre-market low. They definitely didn't break Thursday's low. And if we take a step back to the even bigger picture, we held above this major demand area, right? So we had all of these things, showed you guys from the 1 hour, the big picture, zoomed down into the 2 minute where I take my entries. So again, I will recap this very, very quickly for you guys because I think this trade is really important to understand price action. We're on the 1 hour. There's a big demand level right here, right? 90.50 between pretty much 89 and 90.50. What happened? Well, I knew if we held this demand, first level I'm looking at is Thursday's low, which is the previous day to today. Perfect. Let's zoom in to what we are trading on, the 2-minute. So now we have Thursday's low. Awesome. So pretty big, important level that everyone should always mark the previous day's low. And now we have pre-market low, another huge level that everyone should be marking every single day, right? Previous day's low, pre-market low. What happened at the beginning of today? Well, we held both of these levels, yesterday's low and pre-market low. And even with sellers trying to show up, there was demand and buyers heavily defending this level. And once we saw we could not break through this level, the trade was now up. And as you guys can see, we absolutely destroyed it. Took those call outs and made sure the team ate on those. So hope that was a good view on that AMD trade. What I was seeing with price action at these levels, right? So once you get through trading, you're going to be able to master the trading by looking at the levels and the price action that is happening at these levels. And this is a very good demonstration of price action happening at levels and why we took the trade. So I hope this breakdown of it gives you guys a better, clear view when people say, oh, I traded the price action, right? So trading price action is seeing exactly this. There were sellers present. They could not break through a major level that we know that we saw from the 1 hour down. And then it was heavily defended by buyers. So the trade was now up. We took the trade and took calls. So now let's get into the SPY calls that we took 25 minutes into the market. So SPY 406 level, right? 406 level. I mean, I even give it on my Sunday watch list and today, right? Again, this 406 to 405, 404 demand for a bounce, right? Even gave it on Sunday to the team. Upside, I'm watching. Downside, I'm watching this 406 to 404 demand bounce. So how do I know that this 406 was a major level? Well, again, we're going to go to the 1 hour time frame. What are we seeing on this 1 hour time frame? We're seeing that this 406 level is absolutely massive. I mean, every time previously that we keep touching off of this 406, we get a nice bounce, right? 406 bounce. And then today we got another massive bounce off of it. So this 406 was already heavily defended. If you guys take a look down here, right? How do I know 406 to 404 for this demand? Well, let's take a look here. This was a previous resistance and a breakout, right? So we had a nice balance here and then a nice breakout level. So I knew that if we came down here, 404 was that big level, my line in the sand level. If we broke below, we were going to head down. But if we held this 404, as we could see here, was this major breakout level, right? Breakout level. So it would have been a nice breakout retest all the way down to 404 if we got there. But first, I'm watching on this 1 hour, this massive 406 level. I mean, we can even see it clear as day. 406 also was the beginning of this nice little run up from, I mean, we had this breakout here. We held this as support, and then we ran all the way up to the top. And then when we came back down, we held this 406 again. So you could see right here, nice support. Boom, 1, 2, 3. And then today we had another nice, heavily guarded 406. It's pretty much acting like a brick. So let's go down to the 2-minute time frame. So about 25 minutes into the market was right here, right? So when I knew that obviously we know that 406 is a major level. I just showed you on the 1 hour. So when we popped back up and came back down and we were holding this level again, right? Holding this 406 again, I knew it was time to take the trade. Very similar to AMD, right? The price action was showing me there were sellers present. But then as soon as we got back down to this level, we essentially put in a higher low, right? We essentially put in a higher low here. We're showing that there's demand. And by this point, if we were going to break through after this candle, this massive sell candle here, this next candle would have broken through. The price action, if sellers were absolutely present, this candle would have broken through and created a new low of the day. We did not create a new low of the day. We had a nice little double bottom and a nice bounce. Boom, buyers are present and we headed up. And it took a long time to get up to our levels up here, but eventually we did. And this was a nice 200% trade. So real quick again, 1 hour time frame, right? The 1 hour, we're going to find our big support resistance and demand levels. You can see here, all the way back March 31st, this was a nice support that we held to head to our recent high. And then we came back down 406, right? So major area of support that we can see here acting as a brick, right? Acting as a brick. Now, today, we came back down on it, right? 406 acted as support again. And looking at this, I'm on a 2-minute time frame. This is where I take my entries. Once we had this nice little sell off of that first bounce of the day, I mean, this is pretty massive, showing that sellers, this is a pretty big candle for sellers, right? The next candle, if sellers were absolutely present, they would have broken through this level. Once we did not break through this level, was a clear sign to take the trade up, right? To take the trade up. And right, the price action at this level, if we were going to break it, we would have broke it here, but we did not. We held it, showing us again that there is demand here, that the sellers are not going to win the day. So that is how we took this SPY trade, right? So today was pretty much just price action at levels, right? And I kind of explained to you, broke it down, from the larger time frame, how to find the levels, down to the smaller time frames, the actual price action and what I'm seeing at these levels to take the trade, right? Sellers were present at these major levels, but what happened to those sellers? They were met with buyers, met with demand, right? They could not break through these major levels, right? Sellers got exhausted. So the trade is now, the risk to reward is now up. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I think this is probably one of my best videos I've done in a while. So learn it. Hope you guys can apply it. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments below. Share this with your friends. My name is Mr. Banks. I will see you guys next time.